Hi, welcome to another video on my monorail built with fischertechnik, controlled by robo interface and ultimately by BeagleBoard Classic running Ubuntu Linux. Everything written in Python. Last time I noticed that I had a few problems, and one of the more notorious problems is that the speed of this carriage is rather dependent on the propellers. Well, that itself is not such a problem, but if I start a program, it will become apparent what is a problem. And the problem is that the propellers are not running at full speed. The motors, that is, because the propellers are of course driven by the motors. Now, when I turn the camera a little bit higher, then I can show you what happens. So now you hear, with a very slight movement, the propellers clearly gain speed, and all that requires is a little pressure on the balance. So what I'm going to do is to try to get that solved by adding this piece to the balance. This requires that I stop the program, take off the carriage to show how that works, because I need to insert it from here to here on both sides. So that is what I'm going to do now. Take one off, shove it in and put it back, and the same here. This should be working, because it's only a very gentle push that is needed to get everything working at full speed. Question is, will it? So this is working. Well, at least it is on the rails again. So time to start again. It is clearly moving faster, but still apparently the weight put on it is not large enough, because if I keep pushing it, moving towards the right side, away from the controller as intended. So when I go here, and you see it slowly move to towards the right, but only then. So the idea is nice, but it clearly needs more weight to it. Is that all? Well, if I look a bit down, this light is on, but this light isn't. So, okay, that is a wiring issue. Let me take the carriage here. Now it burns. So this is a bit flaky wiring, unfortunately. Or is it wiring at all? Well, anyway, that's it. So yeah, that needs to be done, and then I can see if everything works nicely. So after applying some more weight to the balance of the carriage, I can show you the new remote desktop. I changed the geometry of the VNC server and you see no longer a black edge. Full screen, which is much nicer. Apart from that, it is still the same code. So let's walk through it again. This is the motor running within a while loop, and this is the new part of the code which I did last time. Now there is another thing, of course. How can I make sure that this keeps running? Actually, I can do this by putting this part of the code outside the if. Then it just keeps going on and on, or should be. So I am copying this, then commenting out and putting this code here. And then I should take care that this part is actually not indented. So with this, everything should be working continuously. So let's run it again. Right, it is still moving and the propellers were running at a very high speed, but they are not now. Will soft pressure, as I showed you earlier, help with the speed? Yes, it still helps with speed. Now I release it. Does it diminish? Does it go slower? Not really. The carriage moves very, very, very slowly. And now it should say that the digital 6 is 1. Yes. Wait a minute. Digital times 1 is 1. Which is which? It should say okay, then we are here, digital 6, and it is in between 6, 7 and 8. So that is here. And this one is printed. That is clear. This is for T digital 6. And since I had to look for it, it is not good. So let me quit this, because every type of output that you have to look for should be improved. Well, let's put 6 in it, but I can also say 7 and 8 being 1. Now yeah, being 1. So this is actually telling that they are all 1, and this is much clearer. So save and go again. The speed is a little bit better. but it is hardly moving. And with some assistance it is moving, and now it is blocking 7. And you see here finally that it is here, that it is on this point. But the main concern is still the variable speed by lack of weight. I should really take care of that, but how? Because the parts don't weigh so much. And I really want some speed, but if I add weight, it will get slower because there is only so much propulsion by the propellers. Even though I have 2 propellers on it, the weight, if I keep adding weight, it will get slower. I have to find a solution for that. So now with the extra weight, let's get a look on another angle. And then you can see that besides the red part, I added a black part. And you see that the propeller now and then runs, but which is, by the way, caused by this change from one rod to another. But if you look at the way this goes, you see that it collides with the carrier of these rods. And looking further, this one collides even more. So although when gently pushing it, it won't get any further. So this type of balance, as I did here, is not going to work out. It moves slowly, but as already said, the more weight, the slower it goes. So I clearly have to think into another direction. But what? The idea is nice. Let's carry it over, and even carrying it over is a problem. So let's push the rods from the other side, and then I mean doing like this. Now it has power on this side as well, but how will that work? I keep pushing the rods. And clearly it needs some convincing that it works. If I keep my hands on of it, it stops, it goes on, but it doesn't go anywhere. So like this, it is not going to work, unfortunately. That said, I still need to replace all these rods into one. Then this carrier can go, or support, it is actually, this support can go and this support can go. How about this support? If I have a very long one, that one can go too. Then we will have a very different situation with no obstruction here and here. But in the meantime, I'm stuck with this situation where it barely moves. There's absolutely force in it, The idea is still nice, but the weight is a big problem. And even now you can hear when I push just very gently, you can hear the difference. So I have to substitute, I have to find out how I can carry on. Perhaps putting something on it instead of under it. That would be also possible. So let's think about in that direction. So in order to overcome this problem, I'm going to reconstruct the carriage, see whatever that may bring. It is now completely unbalanced, and I put this one on it, and here exactly the same, and I can build on top some weight. So let's just do, oops, and I miss some part which it's stuck in. Okay. But I still need to put this on it. And I should be able to get some balance. So let's put this one on it. It's equal to 3 of the red blocks. And then right now run the software. And does this still matter? Let's check this out. So right now this is the situation. It works, kind of, but still it's not entirely what I like. So what if I put really some more weight? Alright, let's push a little bit back and watch it then. So right now this is the entire weight on it. But what does it do? Does it do anything? So if I stop this for now and I take it off and I show you from the side what it looks like. This is so-called counterweight. And it is meant to make sure it is understood that this makes enough contact to this. And of course it does make contact, but for some reason slight contact is not the same as pressured contact. So starting the software again. So right now you saw it move just a little bit. The obstruction here is gone. And when I push the rods against each other, what will happen with the movement? That is what it is all about. So far, not much. So whenever I press and release, it moves a little bit. And I don't push it forward. But the fast speed, can I still expect it? I really have no idea.
Right. I had some audio problems. I had recorded a nice segment. I tried to listen back, no audio, and after some 10 attempts in testing and resetting settings, etc., it works again. So here we go. What I did was finding out that information that I printed on screen was not quite what you liked. This was very unclear, so I added 6, 7 and 8, since this is 6, 7 and 8. Then also in this portion it is not digital T7 or T digital 7, so I added not D8. Digital 8, not T digital 8, not D8. This is not digital 7, so that must be not D7, not D7, and the same goes for here when it is not D6. And then you're in the software, and the question is, does it run? Does it work the way you intend to? The answer is very clearly no. This is exactly the way as you this is exactly the way as what you see here, which is not surprising, but anyway, just for you, for your understanding. Then here is the new status, because the D7 was missing. And the very big question is, also after I moved, or actually moved these lamps out of this has interface condition, so the lamps never stop working. The point is, what should I do to reduce the counterweight balance, balance counterweight? Yeah, that's more appropriate. And actually make the two propellers work fine. Well, they work fine, but the weight is way too heavy. So how do I do that? Because you noticed that I had to press the balance to get the propellers up to speed. Well, I replaced the pressing by weight, and that's too much weight. Once again, which means actually that I have to reconstruct either the track or the carriage. And then I mean the carriage on top of the tracks. Let's get to the power again, or to the code again, because this whole red piece is old and can be removed. Let's see the velocity. 7, maximum velocity, 7, etc. Everything is 7. Now, when we go here, and this is motor 2, so we have to go here. This is neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, that is absolutely maximum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In other words, it is absolutely no use to try to enlarge that. The only solution is in reconstructing the carriage once again. And therein lies exactly the problem. I have no idea how yet, but I came up with some nice solutions with springs, etc. So this will work as well. Let's think once again.
In the final part of this video, I want to think about the reason why counterweight or pressure makes the propeller move faster. And of course I mean this counterweight, or by lack of the counterweight, pressing on it. Because if I take this away, this is very flexible as intended because of the spring. This one, the same idea of here, or this spring. So this is flexible, but then again, why, if I put it back on track, is pressing on it making the connection better, because this is the ground rod, this is the power rod, no doubt about it, red and green. So thinking about that, there should be absolutely no reason, certainly not on this track from here to here, why it is happening what is happening. It just makes no sense. So if I take this away and replace it with this again, would that really matter? Well, the only thing I need to do, oops, battery should stay up there. One thing I can do is of course just starting the software. And the remarkable thing is, it doesn't run on full speed. It just doesn't make sense. Alright. Stopping the software. Removing a lot of extra weight. Would that help? Yes, but that would also make this solution this, yeah, turn the camera a bit. We would also make this solution a no-go. And friction is a problem. Wheels also always cause friction, but this with the rods on both sides cause also friction. And somehow I think that there is the solution in removing the friction. The big question is how, and I really need to think about that. I don't know now. For now, I will remove this for the new solution, which kind of works, but not the way I liked. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for many more nice projects, including fischertechnik, almost all of them, or all of them. And please consider making a small donation to keep this blog alive and active. Published each week Friday, if possible. And please take a look at my website for more information. This is obviously going to be continued. You can also watch my Instagram, follow me on Twitter. And for now, bye bye.